birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Happy birthday, dear Pa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Pa. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Merry Christmas. We love you.
All right. So, different type of video on the channel. But I don't know. He's been in a couple things, so maybe a familiar face. But this is my grandfather, Ron Bloise. I call him Pa, so that's probably what I'll continue to call him through this interview. This is a great man here, a very talented man, and a man who has a very, very interesting life story. So I'm going to be exploring that in this sort of docu-interview style video. Yeah, no, this isn't characters. This is just real life people. Nathan, Mallory, Ron Bloise. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this.
Okay.
So, sir, we've already said your name, but for some other basic information, let's start at the very beginning. I think that's the best way to do this. So, Pa, your parents, where you were born, when you were born, you know, maybe some basic details like that. What would those entail?
My dad was John Bloise, your great grandfather, and my mother was Thelma Chadwick.
Okay. And
Corning, New York.
Corning, New York.
Uh-huh.
Right. I know that's a place I've only visited a few times, unfortunately, but I know it's come up a lot in discussion. But so when you were born,
I'll try to remember.
Something special about your birthday. Right?
When you must mean on Christmas.
On Christmas.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So I've always found that interesting. Just you know, a little question here. If you had the choice, would you choose to not have your birthday on Christmas?
Yes, I always wanted to have my birthday in June or July to divide the year up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But I made do.
Yeah. It's never been too bad.
No.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So then, getting into sort of like your early life and stuff, right? Growing up, maybe getting into like elementary, middle school. How was that like for you? You know, do you remember much about your early childhood and growing up?
A little bit, yeah. You know, a friend and I talk about things that happened in classes back in the early mid '60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of memories, but
Absolutely.
You know, nothing major. You know, nothing to report about.
Yeah. What would, if you had like a, I would like maybe like a top 5, you know, like, you know, things you would do as a kid, or just things that make you feel nostalgic of that time period of your life. What would those 5 things be?
Oh, okay. Oh, what a question. Probably our family gatherings. We had them all the time. Easter, Christmas, 4th of July, Memorial, Labor Day.
Yeah.
We had gatherings in the woods, on the lake, all over. And a lot of my nieces and nephews are only a few years apart from me, so they were sort of like playmates when they came over, and we had good times. And but with my friends in the neighborhood, we we would put on muscular dystrophy carnivals in the neighborhood, making money for muscular dystrophy by hosting games and selling candy and things like that. We would go around at Halloween, always look forward to trick-or-treating for about maybe 2 to 3 nights out of Halloween week. We would go around the neighborhoods and do that. Back then it was no big deal to go a little bit before or a day after.
Interesting. Interesting.
And in that same time, we would like to go around and soap cars' windows and stick their horns, which involved opening their door, because nobody locked their cars back in the 60s, very few people, especially in Corning.
Yeah.
And getting yourself a nice stick with preferably a fork on it, because you could then prop the stick against the driver's seat and against the ring that you would use to beep your horn.
Wow.
And you would position that such that it continually beeped, and you would run very fast at that point, because someone would always come darting out of the house. Yeah, that was
Creative.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. That's cool. That's some fun. Definitely different times, but you know, and we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't relate.
Yeah. All right. So the next question that I was interested in was your parents. Obviously, we'll get there, but I myself have some vague memories of Pop, right, your father. But in general, for both your mother and father, do you remember any qualities about them or certain behaviors of them that you would experience when you were a child, when you were younger?
Mom was very clean in the house, and also a great cook and baker. We loved each other very much, and she would always bring me to church with her and take me shopping. We had a great relationship, Mom and me, until she passed away when I was 16. Dad, always a hard worker. He worked at the glass works on the assembly line for Pyrex and Corel dishes, and he was a vice president in the local glass union.
Yeah.
So there was that. Then, as a side job, he was a house painter, both inside and out. So he was a workaholic, like your dad.
Yeah.
He was a workaholic, and but he spent plenty of time with us. We never felt really neglected.
That's good.
And he was very big on travel. As far back as I can remember, back in the 50s, there are pictures of them taking me to Florida. Back in the late 50s.
Yeah.
And we traveled all through my childhood. I mean, in 1964, we went to Washington, D.C.
Really?
And to Ontario, Canada, fishing.
Wow.
1965, we went to the Glassworks convention in Atlantic City and took a side trip to the New York City World's Fair in 1965.
That's cool.
By the way, I have a great guidebook of the World's Fair at my house.
Yeah.
In beautiful condition. So whenever the time arises, make sure that you look for that item there. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, 1966. I don't remember what we did that year. I think that was pretty much a stay-at-home baseball little league year.
Okay.
66. I was into baseball.
I gotcha.
1967, we went up to Quebec, Canada, to the what was it called? Expo 67 in Montreal.
Okay.
And from there, we went up to Quebec City and saw the Castle Chateau Frontenac. And from there, we went to Booth Bay Harbor, Maine, where somewhere there's a picture of me catching a shark. It's a black and white photo of
Really?
catching a shark. So yeah, 1968. We took a drive down I-95 through Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, into Florida. And we went to Miami, Jacksonville, and St. Petersburg, Treasure Island.
Oh wow.
It was a big Florida trip. Cypress Gardens, where Legoland is now. I remember that vividly. It was beautiful. Yeah, that was the year for that. And then so on and so on. 69, we went with Aunt Mary and Uncle Mike again to Ontario, fishing at Uncle Mike's cabin. So that was a nice family interaction there.
Yeah. So all these trips, did you like, especially when you were a kid, like, did you like that, like traveling around and getting to see all these
Are you
other
kidding?
places?
Oh, I've got diaries somewhere.
Really?
They're also amongst my things. So if you ever come into possession of my things, what they are, most of them are notepads, little notepads, you know?
Yeah.
That you just flipped it, and each day was, not each day, but like 3 days on a page I've got.
Interesting.
Writings. And there is one diary book from 1970, which I filled in a few months worth, but after that my mom passed and I stopped making entries.
I gotcha. And so, when your mom passed away, did the traveling and the visiting different places, did that continue?
Yeah, with Dad and me. Not the rest of that year, I don't think, but the following spring, he took me on a spring break trip to Virginia, and we went to Norfolk. We visited some friends of his near the Richmond area that were from Corning that we went to reconnect with, and Williamsburg, the historic city of Williamsburg, Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home. Yeah, that was a great trip, and also to visit my brother Lewis, who was living in West Virginia. We then continued on over to West Virginia. Excuse me for just a moment. Yeah, so, yeah, we what else did we, also in 1971, another Glassworks convention in Miami, Florida. And I remember that vividly. Dad and I flew down for the convention. I took only a few days off school at that time, because it was in early June. School hadn't gotten out yet.
Okay.
We stayed at the Caroline Hotel in Miami Beach. It's still there. I drove by, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And that was a great time. That was a great time with my dad. We went to a nightclub show at the Americana Hotel. And while there, I do remember there was a 2-drink minimum for the customers.
Interesting.
So Dad and I each had daiquiris.
Fair enough.
And there were no questions asked.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a vivid memory.
That's great.
What was I? 16, I think.
16 at the time. Wow.
Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah. 17. Yeah. 17.
Wow. So that's did you always like look older than your age, or was
No.
this just a crazy?
I looked pretty young. I looked younger than you probably then. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, so I think you had mentioned you missed a few days of school out there, and I think that kind of brings me into our next sort of area here, school.
Yeah.
And like obviously elementary, middle, a long time ago, but just blazing through those first 2 chapters. what what were you like, in school, like elementary, middle school? Did you get good grades? You have a lot of friends?
Well, I won't get too much into it, but yeah, early on I was a great student. I was first or second grade. I was the one chosen to read books to my class.
Really?
I was that good of a reader at that time.
All right.
Yeah, all through elementary, great report cards. Another thing to look for, I've got a stack of my report cards about this thick, from kindergarten to 9th or 10th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you'll be able to peruse those someday.
Which is crazy because we don't even get physical report cards nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now when I went to junior high, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th then.
Okay. All right. I see.
And then high school was 10th, 11th, 12th. 7th, 8th, 9th. 7th, not so great for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
8th grade, high honor roll.
Hey, there we go.
9th grade, back down a little bit.
Okay.
And the rest of high school, I just made it by. I was not an exceptional student in high school like yourself. Not at all. Not at all.
I gotcha. So where grades sort of lacked a little bit, did you find yourself doing were there any clubs or sports or any other outside of school activities you found yourself pretty involved in?
Oh yeah, basketball with my friends, football with my friends, not school activities because I did go to work in 10th grade.
Okay.
I started work at the Corning Hospital in the dietary department.
Okay.
Me and your Gamma.
And what did that entail?
Could be anything. I could be washing dishes with another guy that day. I could be working on the food line where the trays would come down and we would put the cold servings on each tray, things like that.
Yeah.
I could be loading the trays onto the carts that bring them up to the floors, and then take them up to the rooms and deliver them to the people. We did that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I did that for pretty much until I graduated. Yeah.
Gotcha. So then, I guess then we can kind of transition into coming out of high school. What kind of happened there? Your first start into adult life. What was going on after high school?
Right after high school, at the end of June, came the flood of 1972. It was a disaster. A lot of businesses went under, and the city was underwater for a few days. So I was involved in the cleanup right after that. Corning Glassworks had a program where they hired children on summer break for jobs, helping to clean people's homes, property, appliances, and I worked in an appliance cleanup along with some friends of mine.
Okay.
We got the appliances back in working order and clean order. Yeah, I did that for a good part of the summer, and then while I'm still working at the hospital too, by the way, that was a mess too. Our whole outfit in dietary was under, I don't know, a foot of water.
Wow.
Yeah, so it left a thick, muddy sludge in there. Took a lot of cleanup for that too.
Sure. And was that scary? When that flood happened, were you worried about anybody, anything?
No, because as you might remember, Pop lived on top of the hill. There was no way the water was going to get up there.
That's true.
But yes, we were afraid for people to. Gamma was down below. She was right on the borderline of it. You could, from her house, you could see water coming up towards her house, and it did get in their basement, but not in their living quarters. But they're right on the precipice of the edge of the floodwaters.
Wow. So with the cleanup and everything, like, which is very honorable. I mean, you would help out your community like that. But what came next after that? I know you have experience in the Air Force. Are we?
Well, that's what came after that. There was that, and then I took a little time off and went down to St. Petersburg. I flew myself down there because I was making big bucks at the hospital. It wasn't that much. It was, I don't know, $40-50 round trip down to Florida at that time, or something like that. Round trip. To see my brother Richard, who was going to Stetson Law School at that time.
Okay.
And I stayed with him in his dorm for a few days. Took a little break, he had a pool there. We played tennis and had a good time together.
Yeah.
Came back and got ready to ship out for San Antonio, Texas, and Air Force basic training in September 11th of 1972.
Wow. Okay. So what? So now we're getting into the Air Force. What kind of got you interested in that, or was it maybe less of a choice? Like what kind of made you be like, yeah, Air Force, this is what we're gonna do?
Well, I was very much into airlines at that time, and there was no immediate hiring out of high school for an airline position.
Right.
So what I did is join the Air Force, and they had a career field of air passenger service. And I said, okay, I'll do I'll do this training for 4 years, and then I'll get out and I'll have an airline job.
Okay.
So yeah, sure enough, I went to technical school at Wichita Falls, Texas, and then from there I was sent to Travis Air Force Base, California, which is the West Coast's premier shipping point at that time for Vietnam. And Vietnam, Japan, Hawaii, Guam. Yeah, so I worked in the air terminal there, doing a number of things. I would work the ticket counter, and you walk up, I would take your bags, check you in, issue you your ticket, and once the flight has checked in, I would make my way over to the departure area. And I'd make a departure, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to board. And I would do that. That would also be part of my responsibility. And these are commercial charter jets, so they carried about 150, 200 people even back then. There were stretch DC-8s and whatnot.
Yeah.
So then I would actually walk them out to the plane and until they were all seated and accounted for. Some days I would even get in the belly of the aircraft and throw bags in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So
loved it.
Yeah, that's cool. So doing that, I'm sure was definitely good, definitely fun. So how long would you say this like time frame of your job in the Air Force and everything? How long did that last for? How long were you doing that with?
Well, okay, yeah, Travis Everyone did that until through 74. January 75, I went to Okinawa for a year and a half, doing the same thing in the Okinawa Air Terminal. Okay, came back to Travis Air Force Base on the 4th of July, 1976, bicentennial year.
Oh, shoot.
I left Okinawa on the 4th of July. I arrived in San Francisco on the 4th of July.
Dang.
Spent the next year and a half there, and I re-enlisted. And by doing so, they gave me a choice of assignments. I picked Norton Air Force Base, Southern California, in San Bernardino, because I wanted a change of scenery. I wanted to be down closer to LA.
Yeah.
And I've seen San Francisco and Northern California at that time, and it got a little chilly. Even back then, I was getting chilly up north.
Yeah.
I wanted to go south where it was warmer, and it was.
Yeah.
So I was there until 1980. Well, that's where your mom was born, by the way, in Riverside, California.
Right.
which was just down the road from Norton Air Force Base. Same job, air terminal at Norton Air Force Base. They also flew overseas.
Okay.
Of course, by this time, Vietnam was over. It was just cargo and passengers going to Philippines, Hawaii, and Guam, basically.
I got you.
80, I went over to Fairford, England. Brought your Gamma and Mom over there with me. And we remained over there until, your mom brought, your Gamma brought your mom back to America, I think in October of 81, I'm gonna say.
Okay.
October of 81, because of the diagnosis of your great grandpa on her side of cancer.
Okay.
He wanted his family back with him.
Yeah.
So they went. I stayed over there. Sorry, I should have brought water down, but that's okay.
No, you're good.
I stayed over there, continued to work until the spring of 82, at which point I was called into my colonel's office, reported to him. Sergeant Bloise. Yes, sir. What's this all about? He hands me this letter. I looked at it, and it was a letter from Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan of the state of New York, writing those in command over me to release me from my assignment in England and immediately send me to Syracuse, New York, a base in Syracuse, New York, to be near my terminally ill father-in-law.
Wow.
And I said, I don't know, sir. I don't know. I had nothing, no knowledge of this, nothing to do with it. Okay. What happened was, your great grandpa was friends with Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and wrote him that he wanted even me back to join Alicia, your mom and grandma.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So from then, it only took a matter of a few weeks to get me out of there and to Syracuse.
Wow, interesting. So, I think...
A little bit more. I'll try to be quick.
Okay.
I'll try to be quick.
All right.
So, how long was I there? Spring of 82. Now, at that point, I had to change career fields because there was nothing in my skill set at that base.
Okay.
So I was into hotel management, the caring for the base hotel.
Yeah.
So 2 years of that, and then it was time to re-enlist again. And I said, why not? I've gone this far. So I get a choice again. My choices were Tampa, Florida, Cocoa Beach, Florida, number 2 choice, or Nellis in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
Guess what I got? Las Vegas, my 3rd choice.
All right.
But that's where we moved, and we remained until your mom and Gamma and everybody else moved back to Corning. Vegas was their home.
Yeah.
I stayed there. I stayed on there, but that's another story.
Right. So was that base in Vegas? Was that the last base that you were stationed at?
Well, while I was there, I got selected for what they call a remote tour, a 1-year tour by yourself in a foreign country.
Okay.
And my choice was Kunsan, Korea. So I spent 1 year at Kunsan, Korea.
Really?
Made some good friends over there and enjoyed it immensely over there.
Fascinating. So what I gotta wonder is, of all these different, because you've mentioned several places, Okinawa, England, and now you've mentioned a year in Korea. With all these places that you've gone, foreign countries,
Yeah, those are the 3.
These big trips. What are some of your boldest memories from each? From each of those big 3 that you mentioned.
Well, starting with Korea, like I told you, I met a great group of guys. I flew over with one, and we remained friends over there. And through his friends, we picked up we had a group of guys, 4 or 5 guys that we just went everywhere with, to other parts of Korea, downtown to the local bar scene. We would go down together. It was a regular thing, weekend thing. Yeah. One of them worked in the TV station. He was the broadcaster of the local TV station, and we got to go in his shop on off-duty hours and just mess around doing some neat audio-visual things.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okinawa. Same thing. I met a great group of people over there. One Navy guy, a couple other guys that I have remained in touch with. 50 years?
Wow.
50 years.
50.
So yeah, we did a lot of things over in Okinawa together. There was a worldwide exposition, like I told you, Expo 67 I went to in Montreal.
Yeah.
There was Expo 75 in Okinawa. So we got to attend that. That was a very neat thing. Yeah.
So what was that like then?
It was northern part of Okinawa Island, and it was on a small island off the coast of Okinawa. So it was a maritime themed World's Fair with the sea and land.
Gotcha. So was there any what is there at a World Expo? Like were there animals? Was there food? Was there like conventions?
Fish,
was
food,
there,
fish. I don't remember. I remember skiing shows. There were skiing shows.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, not a lot, but I've got pictures, showing a lot of what went on over there.
Yeah.
Again, one day, if you ever get possession of my photos, there are boxes of them that are about yay tall, filled with photos. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So, and then with England, was there anything interesting you did there? Anything crazy?
Yeah. Once again. Oh, now I say I met another friend over there, but that's not true. I met him in Okinawa, and he got assigned to England, this base in England, without my knowledge.
Yeah.
When I got there he was. The odds were astronomical.
Crazy.
Astronomical. Yep, and we've been in touch even this year. I brought your mom and Alicia and mother over there, and we got a nice house downtown. I did not want to live in base housing.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they were just cubicles, and it wasn't what I considered a nice home.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I really put out some extra money to get a nice looking house on the local economy.
Nice.
Bought a brand new car, a French Citroen, a bright yellow Citroen.
Yeah. Well, being in England, I'm sure you had to you have to drive on the other side of the road.
Oh yeah.
All that.
Oh yeah.
Was that like weird?
At first, then it became second nature.
Gotcha.
So second nature, in fact, that when I came back to Corning on vacation, I got pulled over by a cop for driving on the left-hand side of the road.
Really?
Yeah. It just didn't even occur to me. Yeah.
Wow. So, and like on that line of like cultural differences, looking again once more at Okinawa and your year in Korea, were there any cultural interesting things that reach out to you? Or were there any barriers? Did you speak much to locals, or because I know you're on base?
No.
So there were no issues like language barriers or anything?
No, not really. Not really at all.
I gotcha.
We got our messages across and to them.
Yeah. Was there any what was the most exotic thing? Like it could be a food, something you saw, of those two places.
Oh, the food, the smells of the Okinawa streets.
Yeah.
That really stands out. That stands out to me. Korea as well. Korea as well. They call them benjo ditches along the side of the road, and it's open sewage going down the side of the road.
Ooh.
Sometimes, not everywhere, but yeah, that's vividly stands out in my mind. The city smells.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the extremely high humidity of Okinawa.
Yeah.
I mean, here where you live, I've seen you guys have maybe a dew point of 79. Same with us in Florida, maybe 80 once or twice, a dew point of 80.
Yeah.
Over there, it reaches 88-degree dew points, and there is no way to stay dry over there. I remember that. It was such a wet place over there.
Interesting.
Yeah, Okinawa.
Well, I guess that fits.
Only certain months, though. The winters are dry and cool.
Really?
Yeah.
It cools off there.
Oh yeah, you might get in the 50s during the winter.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So, all right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up with a bow on the Air Force side of things. So, I think you've mentioned a few times my Gamma, which is my grandmother, my mom's mom, and of course my mom, Alicia Mallory. So, let's take it back to when you first met Gamma, my grandma. When you first met her and when that relationship first started.
It was from high school.
From high school?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't, 11th or 12th grade. 11th or 12th grade, I don't really remember. And then we also started working at the hospital together.
Right, you had mentioned that.
Until one winter, and I'm gonna say it was the winter of 71. She invited me to a girls' club banquet that they were having up at Corning Community College, a dance banquet.
All right.
And I said, sure, why not? I'll go for the exposure, because there were going to be a lot of nice girls up there.
Yes, of course.
It's nice to be seen, right?
Absolutely.
So I wasn't that into her at that time.
Yeah.
But we went up there, and I'll be darned, we had a good time, and we connected. And then she brought me down to meet Nanan Pa.
Okay.
And yeah, we just progressed from that point until I joined the Air Force. We were still boyfriend and girlfriend at that time. And while I was away at technical school, I picked up the phone one day and said to her, hey, what do you think about us getting married? Now, it wasn't your traditional proposal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just hit me while I was out. Well, I'm pretty sure she said yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, the following August we got married. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So when you guys were dating and everything, what were some of the things you guys did? You go out to restaurants. You guys go to dances.
Yeah, restaurants, putt-putt, movies.
Okay.
Yeah, driving around.
I gotcha. Nice. So at this point now, when you guys got married, well, actually, explain to me the wedding day. How were you feeling? Where did it take place? All that.
Well, the wedding was in St. Patrick's Cathedral, which they tore down in Corning. We're so sad about that.
Yeah.
And the reception was in the Baron-Steuben Hotel, which the building is still there, next to the clock tower in Corning, but it's called a different thing now. Yeah, it was a grand reception. Beautiful ballroom. Pa, being a city alderman, had a lot of his important city council friends coming over, including the mayor and his wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So throughout the entire day, like what was going through your head? Were you excited? Were you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my Aunt Mary, Italian she was, had her way of doing weddings.
Okay.
And she made, oh my God, hundreds of wedding cookies.
Really?
Hundreds of wedding cookies. Tables sprawling with cookie displays for half a mile. And on top of that, there's an Italian tradition that the bride must walk around to the guests holding a plate of Jordan almonds and offering them to each guest.
Interesting.
Now, Gamma did not like that idea at all. But she did it.
Fun.
She did it.
Fun. I gotta carry on the tradition. That's really cool. So, so was there like a you know? Well, actually, first of all, what kind of cookies were those? I'm curious.
Oh,
now.
I can't describe them. Oh my God, so many different kinds. There are pecan pie little cookies, ribbons, powdered snowball cookies, cookies that are shaped and exactly like a peach.
Really?
Yes, complete with the leaf, but it's all edible. I mean, I got pictures. I've got pictures.
And she made them all?
Yes. She made them all and froze and or refrigerated them until such time that they were used.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and not just for me. She has her own family that she caters to too. So when there was ever a special event on her side of the family or any of her other brothers and sisters, children, families, she made cookies. She was, yeah.
That was just her thing.
It could have been a business for her.
Wow. So so with the whole rest of the day, what would you say is your fondest memory, right? Your number one memory from the wedding day?
Don't remember a lot. Don't remember a lot. Yeah. Family. Most of my family showed up for this wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
seeing
can't
everybody
remember
together.
who didn't show up. I can't remember who didn't show up.
Yeah.
And her side of the family, I'm sure they were there too, but I don't remember them as much.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure that was great seeing like everybody on your side of the family all together like that.
Mhm.
Right. How long after you guys got married was it before my mom was born? I know she's the oldest, so.
Oh boy. Oh, 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, I had to think.
I gotcha. So was there any reason you guys waited? Were you just trying to get settled in the married life?
Yeah.
and-
We were young.
Yeah.
And Gamma was working at McDonald's in Fairfield, California.
Okay.
Started at the counter, worked her way up to store manager.
Nice.
Yeah, so she was McDonald's manager. So.
And she was doing
Yeah.
that while, and you were still Air Force at this time.
Yep,
right?
yep. And while I was in Okinawa, she continued that job.
Okay. All right. So 1978 comes along, and that's when my mom was born.
That's right.
And what was that whole experience of a first child like for you? Becoming a father.
Man, it was great. It was great. I mean, she was such a cutie, and we had a nice little place in San Bernardino.
Okay.
She was born in Riverside, and we took her first year. Let's see, would it have been 78? Because she was born in February. It might have even been that December we took her up to a place near Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear, California, called Santa's Village.
Oh, interesting.
And I have video of her there in that location. Now, it's a terrible video, but if you look close, you can see Gamma, Pa, and your mom.
Oh.
Yeah. But I remember she loved seeing the reindeer, and she sat on Santa's lap up there. And and then, we had a great time growing up in San Bernardino. She did too.
Great. So then, obviously, more time passed, and you guys had my aunt, Shasha. So having your second child now, to a second daughter, what was that like? Did you feel like it was any different than when you had my mom, or was it kind of the same rush of emotions?
Yeah, kind of, because, you know, your mom was like 4 years old, I think, at that time. And she was excited. We were excited for her. And Shannon was like a baby doll for her. She babied her and held her. There's pictures of her holding her little sister. And and they grew up together and became fast friends.
Yeah. And so what was that like for you, you know, now being a father of 2 kids and seeing them grow up, like, you know, how did that make you feel? You know, were there any things you wanted to be, any qualities you wanted to show, you know, anything you were like, yes, I want to be like this with them? Was there anything you learned from your own father that you wanted to project onto them?
Well, I tried to watch my language around both of the girls because Dad never cursed in Mom's and my presence. Never. My uncles, different story. Cousins, different story.
Yeah.
But not Dad. He never did. And I tried to do that around the girl. I think your mom will admit to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. So
later on, it got harder to do, and I might have
well, and
broke the rules.
as they get older, you know, so that's nice. So yeah, did you know, were there any like games that you would always play with them? You know, any like, I know I know nowadays you read the golden books.
Yeah, I was doing that.
You were reading that.
Oh, since each one of them were, you know, maybe 2.
Gotcha.
I would lay down with them every night, each one, not together. I'd have to go into one girl's room and read to her, and then the other one. Usually Shannon and I would read to first, and then, you know.
So what was their? Did each of them have a favorite?
Oh, I'm sure they did. Titles, I don't know, or I'd have them for you if I could remember which ones they were.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are the same ones that like that. They had Shannon had.
Yeah. They had this one.
Yeah.
That's what this is, but it's a reference to one of the books my grandpa would always read me. So
that's just one example, but yeah, there were a lot that they had, and you've seen, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's cool. That's crazy. Like, how, and I know a couple of them have they were read to you when you were a
the My
kid.
Puppy book up there. The My Puppy, yeah, that was one year.
Yes, like how they've transgressed time like that. But so yeah, I guess moving forward from their childhood and everything, and life as a full family. When did we get to the point where you and Gamma got the divorce? At what point did we get to that?
Post Air Force retirement.
Okay.
After I retired, we continued on for a short time after that, just a matter of actually about 6 months.
Okay.
I didn't want to move out because I didn't want to leave the girls. I stayed in the house a lot longer than I probably should have under the situation that we had together.
Right.
But I didn't want to leave the girls. I didn't want to leave them on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And just end up seeing them weekly,
Yeah.
which is what it ended up being. So April of the following year, 93 actually, I moved in with a friend of mine from the Air Force that was living in a nice house and had an extra room for rent, so I did that for a while. And then following that, another friend, Scott Warnick's a friend of the Brennan family, happened to live in Las Vegas, and we had hung out and done a lot of things together, and he had an extra room that I could live in, so I lived with him for a while.
So at this point, so the divorce had happened at this point?
Yep.
Okay,
And,
so were Gamma and Mom and Josh, were they still living in Vegas and you would visit them, or had they moved at this point?
They were getting ready to move. I think that no, 94 maybe they moved.
Okay.
Yeah, they're close to moving back to New York.
So at this point, when you were living with Scott, you would visit.
Oh,
you had
sure.
weekly
They'd come
visits?
over to where we lived because they knew Scott well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So once they moved to New York,
Yeah.
how was that like for you staying in Vegas, right? Especially like being away from the girls.
Yeah. I found a job after the Air Force, working for what was then called Las Vegas Reservation Systems. It was a service where people would call a number, us, we would answer, and we would book them in hotels that try to hopefully fit their requirements and price range.
Yeah.
And I was one of the 10 people working the phones at that time. It was a startup business started by a gentleman named Tom Breitling and Tim Poster, who later on eventually built their business and sold it to Expedia for, I think, something like $500 million.
Wow.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And they ended up having their own TV series. I forget the name of it, but it involved their purchase of the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas. These two partners ended up purchasing the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas. So yeah, it was neat that I got to work directly under them.
Yeah.
Had I stayed with them, God knows where I'd be right now. But of course, I left them when the offer became available to be a cashier at the Gold Coast Casino in Las Vegas. So I learned the cashier trade at the Gold Coast, and I was content there. I made a lot of friends there, and but in spring of 1998, word came down of a brand new hotel opening on the Strip, the most gorgeous place you could ever imagine, called Bellagio.
So that opened while you were living in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was opening in October of 1998. Well, beginning in April, May of 98, I applied and was selected to work at Bellagio and to begin training during that summer. So we had an extensive training class for their particular way of doing cashier business.
Yeah.
And and we did that daily while on payroll, and opened the hotel in October 1998 to grand fanfare. You'll have to Google the grand opening of Bellagio. It was something to behold. And I was there opening night, working behind the counter. It was just amazing, and I was into the whole scene.
Yeah. I'm sure as soon as they opened, there was probably just a huge rush of people coming up. Wow, crazy.
We handled surreal amounts of money. I mean, surreal amounts of money. I mean, we would set stacks of $1 million on the counter for people to load into their suitcases.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. It was just an experience, let's say.
Yeah. And living in Vegas and everything, did you live near the Strip, or did you have to commute?
6 miles, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So did you spend, when you weren't working at the Bellagio, did you spend a lot of time exploring the Strip, exploring Vegas, going to different places?
I had done that through when we arrived there in 1984 in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I had done all my exploring. I knew where every place was.
So by that point, you knew.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
All the twists and turns. All right, sweet.
the do's and don'ts and the places and everything.
Yeah. So I know obviously eventually you would leave Vegas, but before we get to that, what were, because I know you've told me some of the people you've encountered through working and through your time in Vegas.
Yeah, what did I say?
Different celebrities, I'm pretty sure. Can you think of some of the people that you encountered?
Oh, there's so many of it. And I'm into that because I've got the photo album, which you saw.
Right. Yeah.
During my time in California and England, I was always going to golf tournaments, bowling matches, tennis tournaments, taking boxing matches, taking pictures of celebrities. That was my hobby, my thing.
Yeah. No, I've
unfortunately, where I worked, I couldn't get these pictures. There were no phones then, so I couldn't just. Excuse me, could I please get?
Yeah, there's no way to.
Although I would have gotten fired for doing that anyway, probably. But I would have liked to. Yeah, I cashed out Bill Gates for $35.
$35.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Vividly remember, $35. 1 green chip and 2 red chips. That's all he had.
Yes.
He could have just as easily dropped that in the trash can,
Yeah.
But anyway, I got to stand behind the counter in the high limit Baccarat room and watch Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky play blackjack together. And there was no business for me to, I just stood there, I'm just mesmerized by these two giants in their sports playing blackjack 10 to 12 feet away from me.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, one thing I remember, it's a story that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
The cocktail waitress came along and brought them each a drink.
Right.
And Gretzky gave the cocktail drink a green chip, a $25 chip. Michael Jordan gave the cocktail waitress a red chip, a $5 chip. Gretzky said to Jordan, "Come on, Mike, give her something else, will ya?" And Jordan took back the red chip and gave her a green chip. Okay. Now, everybody I tell this to says, "Oh, good, at least he ended up giving her the same as Gretzky did, $25. Point is, why take the $5 chip back? You're a billionaire.
I know, right? Why not just add on
Yeah, just throw the...
Yeah, exactly.
But that always stuck in my head, but yeah.
Weird. That's weird to think that, like...
Tom Hanks, I met him in the credit office alongside Martin Short, who I ignored. I was told by another friend, "Hey, Tom Hanks and Martin Short is in the credit office." Well, I left my post. I didn't care. I had to meet him. So I go around the corner and in this door, and there's Tom Hanks and Martin Short. And I just babbled over Tom Hanks. I just had to come and pay my respects, sir. I love all your things. And now, at this time, he was wearing a bushy black beard.
Really?
He had just done Castaway.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And he still had it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So while I'm babbling over him, he said, "I'd like you to meet my friend Martin Short." "I'm sorry, Mr. Short. I'm sorry." So, oh my God,
well,
looking
the presence
back,
of Tom Hanks.
I know, but now they're pretty much equal.
Yeah. So what did you remember? Like, did he say?
Now he's in like that Only Murders in the Building. If you ever heard of that, that show. That show with Steve Martin. Anyway.
Yeah, I've heard of both of them.
Yeah.
And so, was there anything you remember, like Tom Hanks said to you? Like, was there anything you wanted to make sure you told
No,
him?
it wasn't an in-depth conversation. No,
Yeah, very.
No, just a meeting. Nice to meet you. Love your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was he nice? Was he?
Very friendly. Very friendly. He thought it was humorous that I ignored his friend Martin Short.
Yeah.
And I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed when I didn't even see it was Martin Short.
Yeah. Wow. So
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. So going on to post Vegas, right? Because I know eventually you did move. Where'd you move to? You know the reasoning for it? Leaving Vegas?
Well, every summer from 2009 to 2014, I drove back to Corning and stayed with my dad, helped him out.
Yeah.
In his garden, at his home. Yeah, until he passed in 2014. And the winter previous to that, 2013, I spent in Kona, Hawaii. I found a great room for rent, a block and a half from a beautiful beach.
Okay.
And in a great condo with full amenities.
And you just decide to go down there, see how it, see
Yeah,
how it works and stuff?
I don't know how I found her ad. To be honest. Don't remember. But I came across it. And I only stayed there until the spring of 2014, which I went back to stay with Dad for that summer.
Yeah.
But he took a downturn when he fell, and now in September of 2014, I had arranged to go back and stay with my previous landlady, and told her I was moving back there permanently. Well, that's fine, you can do that. So I did that, and I was happy to do it. And Dad was sorry to see me go, but the last thing I said, he was hospitalized right before I left. And the last thing I said to him was, I'll see you before you know it, Dad. And we had a good goodbye.
Good.
Now I moved back over to Hawaii.
Yeah.
1 week later, I got the call that he had passed. 1 week later. So I immediately had to fly back to Corning for the services.
Of course.
And was there for about a week, I guess, and before I went back over.
Yeah.
And it was over there, the first part of 2015, while on the dating site Our Time, I met Sharon.
All right. So I guess before getting into her and the start of your guys' life together, I know we've passed over a couple important events. Getting into your grandfather now.
Now I'm still working at Bellagio in 2007.
Right.
When my first grandchild, Nathan Mallory, was born.
That's me.
In North Carolina.
Yes.
His dad was in Iraq. I was in Vegas. I wasn't attending at the birth. But when did I get to see you? Let me think of February. I think April. You were in Corning, I believe. And I came there. I remember I first held you at the Corning airport. I first held you there. Your mom met me there.
And what was that like, with your first...
Surreal. I mean, geez, how great having babies again, because I love babies.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just great. I didn't want to let you go.
Yeah. And that's probably crazy too, to think that you've made it to a point in your life. You've been lucky enough to live a life where you can now see grandkids. You can see your grandchildren now.
Yeah.
And that's gotta feel fulfilling.
And I had a job that allowed me to make the trips back a few times a year to see you guys.
Absolutely. So now going into 2010.
And then 2010. Hey, that's when your sister was born.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Second grade.
I was worried when your mom got pregnant again that I'm not gonna love this baby because I love Nathan so much. But she came along, and sure enough, there was enough love for the both of you because you both just captured my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was probably great as well. You you started reading us the Golden books. Like, was that the first time like you had read the Golden books since Mom and Shasha were?
Oh,
kids?
absolutely. Yeah, since then. Now I'm back into it again.
So that was probably fun for you to
Yeah.
be able to bring that tradition back to.
Yeah. Now you guys, I don't remember reading to each one of you in your beds. I think what you did was just come over on the couch and sat right next to me, and I'm reading. You're sitting there.
I know I've seen pictures of
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So at this point now we're living in Indiana. So when you would come to visit us, you would be in Indiana. And what was that like? I'm sure you've never had a reason to go to Indiana before.
No, I never did. But I got to learn Valparaiso and eventually Mishawaka.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was neat coming up here, and it still is.
Yeah. So what would you say? I guess moving into now the next grandkid with Vivi, my cousin. What was that like? This is a third grandkid now. Are you still feeling the same, the same rush of feelings, or is anything different?
I am. I'm in Hawaii now in December of 2014.
Yeah.
I'm in Hawaii, and Vivi's born, and I did make my first trip back to Indiana to see her. I don't remember when. Spring. I'm thinking spring of 2015.
Okay.
Came back to see her, and then Ben came along in 2016, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Ben, in August of 2016. Now, we moved back to the mainland from Hawaii in 2015 because my beautiful condo unit got sold.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's right, because you were renting.
And we could not find a comparable area or place to live that was anywhere in the price range that we were paying.
Oh, I'm sure.
This
I hear Hawaii is so expensive.
Yeah, it just kept going up, and to this day.
Yeah.
So we were forced to come back to the States, and we traveled around. We moved back to Palm Springs in 2015, the summer, end of August 2015. And we were there until only November of 2015, where Sharon found a place for us to live in Delray Beach, Florida. So we packed up, drove cross country, moved to Florida. We're there for 1 year. Didn't love it.
Yeah.
Didn't love the neighbors.
Yeah.
Savannah became a place I wanted to go.
Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we moved up there, found a place up there in Wilmington Island, Georgia.
Well, I know Sharon has family in Georgia too, right?
Now, not then.
Oh, okay.
Not then.
Okay.
The Atlanta area. Yeah. So we were there a full year. I loved it. She didn't like it. There were a lot of large bugs. Looked like roaches, but they were black.
Oh yeah.
And they were everywhere. We couldn't get rid of them with exterminators or anything. Let's go. Found a condo in Las Vegas, a nice area of Las Vegas. I said, let's go back to my old stomping grounds. So we did.
Now this I remember, because I remember distinctly when we took, I think it was a spring break trip.
You were there,
to
yes.
Vegas.
You came to visit us both there.
Yes. So that apartment I distinctly remember. I remember the layout. I remember where you guys were, like outside the strip and everything. And I remember, I'm pretty sure when you stood out on your balcony,
you could see the strip.
You could see the strip,
Yes.
and that was one of the coolest sights I remember seeing. But so how was that back in Vegas?
Great.
Felt good to be back?
Yes. Why did we leave there? They kept raising our rent by large increments. Like, I'm talking $100 per year instead of your $20 to $50 extra per month.
Right.
$100 per month. So finally we said, no, gotta look for somewhere else. So from there is where we made our move to Sun City, Florida.
And that is, where you guys are
That's
today.
where we are today,
That is
where we were able to purchase a home.
So when did you
Now,
guys, what year did you guys move to Sun City? 2017?
19.
2019?
Uh-huh.
So you guys are coming up on 6 years.
Yeah, this fall will be 6 years in our home.
Wow, awesome. So you've obviously mentioned Wheeline. I think you've name dropped her.
Now
a few times,
our marriage occurred in Las Vegas right before we moved
right.
in August of 2016. So we both had ads on our time dating site.
And this is back in Hawaii. Right?
In Kona.
Yes.
In Kona. And that's how we got together. We just started dating and we clicked. And yeah, we were inseparable from that point. We were, almost totally inseparable from 2015. For the first 4 years, neither one of us worked. We went everywhere and did everything together. We were together more than 90% of all married couples who both work.
Yeah, yeah, and that probably felt great to find someone that you're able to connect with on that deeper level and to feel that romance again. That was probably a great feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we made all our moves together.
Yeah.
Before we finally settled down and bought in Sun City Center.
I was gonna say, yeah, you guys went all around together.
Yeah.
And yeah, what would you say? Some of the things. What do you like most about her? What do you feel like fuels that connection between you guys?
She is another neat freak like my mom. She loves a clean house. She loves a clean house. She loves to accompany me to karaoke, trivia, things that I like. She enjoys having the friends in our circles. She loves that.
Yeah.
And I love seeing her interact with our friends.
Yeah. And every time.
Volleyball. She's the oldest lady on our volleyball team.
Yeah.
And of about 10, 12 ladies. And there are only one, maybe two that can hold a candle to her abilities.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that.
I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah.
very proud of her athleticism.
Yeah. No, you told me how good she's done, and honestly, like every time I've met her, she's so sweet. She's so sweet, and always brings in a nice hug. And she's always willing to talk about what's going on. She's always very passionate about what we have going on, which I especially appreciate because we're not blood related. So to see that level of care from her, I've always found very, very nice, very sweet of her. So yeah.
She's very competitive. Very competitive.
Yeah. Anytime I see you guys together, you guys seem great. So
that game, for example, you used to bring to the drive-in. They're the poles, 3 poles going across, and you throw the strings with the balls. What do you call it?
Ladder ball.
Ladder ball.
Yep.
Well, they had that at the Four Seasons Resort in Hawaii.
Okay.
And we were walking through the resort and saw this setting up there, decided to play it.
Mm.
So we did, and didn't she beat me at that? So I feel terrible.
Yeah. That's great.
But anyway,
so do you
all
have
good.
a fondest memory with Sharon? If you had to say, if you have one,
No, I just covered it. Yeah, her style. Oh, her style. Yeah, she dresses very well.
Yeah.
She is a great dresser compared to most of our friends.
Yeah. Excellent.
I will say that for sure.
So I guess that kind of brings us into the modern day, right? Where you currently live, who you're currently, with Sharon and everything, and your modern family. So, what would you have to say, looking at your modern life, where life is taking you?
Our friends.
What are your thoughts?
Well, we've got a great group of friends down there. We've got massive group of karaoke friends.
Yeah.
A lot of them we went on our cruise with in the spring. They were all our karaoke friends. There was a group of 12 of us from Sun City that went on this beautiful cruise. We have friends from Trivia. That's a separate group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and volleyball 3 days a week. Karaoke once to 3 times a week. Once to 3 times, depends on the week.
Yeah.
Trivia twice a week.
Mm.
So I'm busier now than when I was working.
Yeah. Hey, well, you're having fun, I'm sure. So, it's probably a good life to live. And, you do karaoke and, very heavy into it. What would you say are some of your favorite songs you like to do for karaoke?
I really amaze people with Bee Gees songs.
Yeah.
Words, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Neil Diamond, America, Love on the Rocks, Beatles, which you hate, but I love and do them well, Tom Petty, Stevie Wonder, Stylistics.
Yeah, I've seen like your list and everything. You got a huge assortment of songs. Yeah, that's great. I think that's really cool that you still do all that, the volleyball, the karaoke, and you have such a big group of friends and lead such a social life, I don't feel like as many people at your stage in life are I don't think as many of them have that.
You'd be surprised. I wouldn't have thought so either until I ran into these people down there.
Yeah, it always seems like you got a great community down there. So, and would you say you're happy with how your family has extended out and how they're all doing now?
Oh, come on, Nathan. Look where you're going. You're going to Ball State acting class, one of 12, 13 people selected out of 1,400. No, I'm not proud. Your sister is taking up golf. She's selected for the golf team. She's a thespian actress. And she's a singer as well. Vivian Ben. Vivi is like a genius at her level, artistically and piano, instruments. Ben is a smart child and a highly intelligent child and sensitive child.
Yeah.
I love my grandchildren. You guys will be the evidence of my being on this earth. That's the way I look at it. Whatever great things you guys accomplish will be because I was here to begin your lives, and nothing makes me more proud than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, speaking at least for myself, you've been a great inspiration for the acting and singing I've wanted to do. I know we're running a bit short on time here, but I know you've mentioned some commercial work you've done and some experience you've had with filming and shooting, maybe a couple movies you've had.
Well, the best thing I did in my Air Force career, in my mind, was the 1987 Air Force recruiting commercial.
Yeah.
Which involved, and you can Google this, Air Force commercial, red Camaro, and it will come up. It happened in 1987. I served as the location search for that commercial in the desert north of Las Vegas, where we had to find the location, arrange for an F-16 flyby, certain camera angles to be attained to shoot this aircraft in the rear view mirror of this red Camaro. And the actor that served in the commercial, Wes Hendrick was his name. In fact, if you watch the video, it will say something about many thanks to Wes or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very memorable. We shot out there for 2 to 3 days, each night, leaving the shooting set in the desert and driving up to the top of Mount Charleston to stay at the Mount Charleston Lodge, where the production crew put us up.
Yeah.
Not the Air Force, the production crew put us up. We were living like royalty. I got to go to LA for post-production,
Really?
where they were doing some of the special effects that they added into the commercials.
Yeah.
One of the places we visited was the office of John Dykstra. John Dykstra, who to this day still does special effects for movies, but at that time he was famous for Star Wars, Star Trek,
Yeah.
and many others, Mac and Me, many other special effects.
Yeah. I know you showed me some of the pictures, and they'll probably be playing in here, but
I've got pictures of his office
Yeah.
with his Emmys and Academy Awards, and we were just hanging out with the guy. I mean, I didn't realize at that time how gigantic he was. I knew he was big because he showed us the models of the Death Star in his workshop. I didn't get a picture of it, but I got a picture of the Capitol Record Building, which we saw when you were in LA. The Capitol Record Building, the circular building. Actually, well, it was destroyed in the movie Earthquake. Well, he did special effects for that, and there it was, the Capitol Records in scale to scale.
Fascinating.
Yeah, but great time.
Yeah. And you
that's the best time I had.
I know you've showed me. Was it a Sylvester Stallone movie? That.
Now you're talking movies. Yeah, I was in Over the Top.
Yeah.
Over the Top. You can see me briefly over the shoulder of Sylvester and Robert Loggia, the co-star.
Yeah.
Over the Top. I was also in a movie called The McCulloughs with Max Baer Jr., who played Jethro on the Beverly Hillbillies, and Forrest Tucker, who played on F Troop. I have a pretty decent close-up in that. Decent close-up. Yeah, me and 2 other people were on screen at that time. It was a great shot, and I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And it's a great look back at
That's cool. So, and I think that, the commercial, even the karaoke you do now and your singing, I think it are just some of the things that have served as a great inspiration for, what I currently pursue with acting and even singing too, it's all very special to me. I think you play a big part in setting me in the path that I feel I'm on, and I couldn't be more appreciative of that. So, I guess to conclude the interview here on my end, I would like to thank Ron Bloise, a father, a grandfather, and my pa for joining me here for the man, the myth, the legend right here. And it's been a great interview. It's been great learning about you. And
at least until this man makes his mark in the world.
Yeah, hopefully. I just want to thank you for that.
Love you.
I love you too. And what would you have to say? So this is a time capsule of you officially going out on the internet. So what would you have to say as some of your closing remarks? To even just your grandkids. What would you like them to know?
Well, to know. Continue to travel. I know Vivi and Ben have been traveling a lot, and you and Sarah have also gotten to travel a lot. Keep it up. Don't stop. There's a lot of world out there.
Yes.
I've gotten to see Europe and Asia and a lot of America.
Yeah.
And I love it all.
Yeah.
And I have the photos to prove it. I have 20 to 25,000 on my phone, and I have, like I told you, boxes full of actual physical photos. So that's a thing of mine. That was a thing of Pop's. He had massive amounts of photos himself. I got half of them. Your cousin Indy got the other half. Photos, travel, enjoy life.
All right. Well, thank you again. And that's going to be a wrap. That's going to be a wrap on the interview.
Could you find the green balloon? Where's Bert? Could you find Donald Duck? Where's the caboose? How about the lion? Where is the kitten? Could you find Bambi? Where's the chocolate cake? Where's Mickey Mouse? How about the butterflies? Where's Donald Duck? How about the puppy? Where is Ernie? Thomas the Train. Good job. Pa is proud of you.